Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your fave fat sis sitting on the red couch. Hey, it's been a minute, it's been a while since we've been together, since we've been to Winnie's. Bathong, I hope le shapo like bophelo ba dumela le happy le right mara bo my lovey. I'm fine. The one thing that happened was that please excuse the noise. I live near a busy road, so annoying. So the one thing that happened, the reason why I've been offline for this long is that believe it or not, there was one time I was coming earlier this year. I was a bit consistent, right? And in my consistency, there was a day that I was recording a video, and then all of a sudden it jammed. You know, the camera was like memory too full, and I was like, "There's no way. This is the first video. It can't be too full." And then only to find that the memory card was corrupted because I would eject it. Funny, you know, and I learned a very hefty, pricey lesson to not just eject the memory card. You have to safely eject it so that it doesn't get corrupted. But I think the break gave me time to go away and go be myself and yeah, just keep atlisise le ntlhaloganya ba my skirt keep atlisise and yeah, here I am, I'm back, and we're gonna do things a bit differently. I was just in my absence just thinking about how to do YouTube, what kind of content do I want to do, and I've decided that I want to go the hot topics kind of route where I discuss hot topics, burning issues of the week, of the day, whatever, and kind of put that kind of content out. Also, no longer try to not make the videos long, try to make them as short as possible, you know. So yeah, without babbling too much, let's get into it. Let's get into this new thing that I want to try. Tell me how it goes. Are you feeling it? What should I add? What should I talk about? You know, you know what I mean? So the first topic at hand. First of all, I want to do, and tell me, maybe by the time this video comes up, I'll have recorded this next video that I want to do. But I want to do a critical analysis, critically unpacking the divorce of Somhale, of Somizi and Mahale. Just it's a queer topic that I'm interested in, that I'd like for us to unpack and to kind of go into a little bit, but without being malicious, because I'm not that kind of person. Without being malicious or maybe a little spicy. It might be a little spicy. I like a little mess, but yeah, just to critically unpack that and yeah, there's people who have I'll do that kind of video, and I haven't. So let me know, comment down below if you would like for me to do that kind of video. So anyway, I've got a few topics here that I'd like to go through with y'all, if you would allow me, please. Okay. The first person we're gonna talk about is Kanye West. Oh, what's my name? Tikos Felani. Sithelo. We're tired. Kanye West needs to stop. Kanye West. I'm tired. I'm personally tired of Kanye West and his antics. Yeah, I understand mental health. I get that. But two things can be true at the same time. You can be an asshole and have mental health issues, and that is exactly what is happening with Kanye West. And when he came out to say that he doesn't read, he prefers to have conversation, it's like, don't go. right there. And it's so weird that people would call him a genius, right? And now he comes out and says something like that, and you're like, genius, really? Because for me, I believe my view is that artists need to not reference, right? But they need to interact with the world around them critically if they can, and read or review other artists, and from there kind of come up with their own senses of the world, their own thing, right? For instance, back in the day, writers like James Baldwin, he would read somebody else's work and come back and say, okay, here's my view of that work, and would read many other works that would inform him and even belonged to a society of other writers like the Toni Morrisons, the Nikki Giovannis, the Maya Angelos. They were friends. They belonged in that type of society where they could hash things out, have things out, like talk things out, and challenge each other's thinking, and challenge each other's view in the world, and shape and help to shape your own view by critically interacting with the world around you. So if somebody like Kanye West, who has all of this money and all of this time, is going to come and say that he does not read, it's quite baffling. And yeah, Google it, you see, he said it. I'll also link an article down below on the description box. But la tlhaloganya mara gore man go etsagalang like Kanye, stop. And also just relentlessly abusing his former in-laws and his ex-wife, and bringing his kids into it, and then resorting to his blackness, recently attacking that Vogue editor, the black woman who's a Vogue editor, and when everybody was standing up for her, and I think maybe he didn't think that would happen, then he kind of like backtracked. He kind of like backtracked and was not being the bigot that he was, So I'm done with Kanye. I'm personally done. I don't really believe I don't think cancel culture works, especially for men, towards men, for men. I don't think cancel culture works. But yeah, I'm sorry. Personally, I'm done. All right, moving along. The next topic is Sithelo. This one ring light went off. Let me go swat it out. I'll be back. Hey, yeah, sorted it out. So the next topic is how last week or so Sithelo and her body were trending. She revealed that she went to get a mommy makeover, and everybody was like, okay, and then people did a good job on you, and already she had a nice body already allegedly before going into, allegedly, because I didn't know her body before, pay attention to her body before the surgery, nor did I go and look for before pictures, but I saw the hot banging body that she revealed to all of us. And guys, for me personally, to each their own. Mili kwa how, my dad. Mili kwa how it's a se wena o se bonang se o se ratang ka the Milfontein wa gago. So I cannot problem me. If I have the money, I do something to my body, something to my body. But yeah, do you boo? What you don't say when I was one and silly chap for way now. But what I appreciate though about the whole thing is that the girlies are no longer afraid to come out and say they've gotten a particular job done on their body. I'm happy about that, because what it then does for the rest of the society, we're not beating ourselves up with like diet and exercise trying to look like these people who have had work done, and you can't compete with somebody who's had work done on their body and goes to the gym and think you will have the same results, and you'll drive yourself crazy. So now that these disclaimers are now out there, people are saying, I've done this, I've done that to my body. Great, stunning, lovely, wonderful. I appreciate that. It just alleviates the pressure from everybody else to try and look like these people. Because now you're like, oh, okay, I can also save me a little money, fly over to Turkey and get my body dead, and then come back and go to the gym and maintain that body. You know what I'm saying? So things can be a bit more realistic, which is what I appreciate. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate that. And obviously, these conversations will spark topics on the socials and on social media, on Twitter, but more especially Twitter. They'll spark conversation because everybody has an opinion. Everybody has something to say about someone or something and what people do to themselves and their bodies. So people have bodily autonomy, and they can exercise whatever they want to exercise with their bodies, and I'm here for it. Full stop. End of story. End of discussion. Well done to Sithelo for getting that body, girl. Give me your doctor's numbers. Gizo yanampela old. Gizo Tanduguf. I think Sithelo has some of the funniest meme videos ever. Insalabantu. The next topic. Beyonce, Giselle, Carter, Knowles. Beyonce, Giselle, Carter, Knowles has a chokehold on us. She came out with Renaissance Act 1. She ain't done nothing. She ain't promoted it. No visuals, no videos, no interviews. Just put out the music, and we have been lapping it up. It's been doing great on the charts. It's even there's some talks about the nominees. Grammy nominees are coming out on the 15th of November, which is next month, and there's talks around she needs to get album of the year. She needs to walk away with some Grammy awards. First of all, Grammy nominations next month, and some Grammy awards in 2023. So there's a lot of talk and buzz around the album, and we're waiting on Act 2, we're waiting on Act 3, and she even announced that she'll be touring next year, so I'll be selling a kidney, my liver, I'll be selling something, my body, I'll be selling something, so that I can go to I can go to one of her shows somewhere in the world, I don't know if you guys would like for me to do a life update video. If you would, let me know. I'd love to tell you where I am. A lot has happened life-wise. A lot has happened, and it's a lot of good things as well that has happened. One of them is that I can say that I'm in a new space. I'm staying in a new space, like I told you, that I want to move out of the hoods, and that happened. And I'm really happy. I love the space, and yeah, man, it's my little piece of heaven, my little piece of mind, and I love it so much. Yeah. If you want me to go into detail about that, from the first video, if you watch my first video of the year, and for me to track as to where I am now, graduated, girl, your girl did a lot. She done did a lot. She done did a lot. So she good now. Beyonce has us in a chokehold. We love it. The album is stunning. And I remember going to Vogue Nights a few weeks ago, and the theme of the ball was Renaissance. and obviously there was a part of the ball where they played the entire Renaissance album, and I was on the dance floor, and it was so beautiful to experience it in a community, because you're so used to having to, it choke holding you alone and having you in a choke slam alone. So when you collectively experiences with other people that have that feel the same, that also love the music, it was such a beautiful feeling. And also the Vogue Night space is also such a beautiful space, such a stunning space, darling. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Nicki Minaj, beautiful gowns, beautiful dresses. Nicki Minaj.
And let's sort of change genres a little bit. Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. No, I'm gonna pass on that one.
Problematic. And also, before I even go into Nicki Minaj, one of my favorite YouTubers is Kimberly Nicole Foster. She has 2 channels, Kimberly Nicole Foster and For Harriet. You guys should watch those 2 channels. She's absolutely stunning, brilliant. She's a brilliant YouTuber. I personally love her. Her fans came for Kimberly on Twitter, and they published her number, and they were attacking her, and they were sending her very disgusting, violent messages about how they're gonna find her and find her nieces, because she talks about her nieces, find her niece's school and bomb it. Like, these friends were unhinged, and Nicki Minaj would like some of these tweets. Nicki, we got a problem, sis. We got a huge problem. So anyway, it was just a mess, and Kimberly is taking legal action with that, and it's just so unhinged. Nicki Minaj, daily or monthly, she's fighting. Every 2 weeks or monthly, she's fighting somebody. She's fighting, especially other women in the rap game. She is. I'm done. And also, Nicki Minaj, let's be honest, is problematic as a human being. She's just problematic, and I stopped effing with her a long time ago. And I used to be such a fan, but it was not a bob. Yeah, because they are unhinged. I thought the Beehive was unhinged. Bob's are unhinged. But don't tell them, and they mustn't see this video, because I don't want to get messages. But you know what, Barbs? Anyway, yeah, no, always fighting with people. Why is Nicki Minaj? Ke phumasilwe gore ke manta bathong ke ntombi holo ntombi empi kore nje o phela a le mo sis, you are the problem. If everybody's fighting with you, you are the problem. Anyway, yeah, no, she needs to stop it. She needs to she needs to stop it. She needs to absolutely stop it. I think, you know what, I wanted to talk about cancel culture being a scam. I think I need to do its own video on why I think that cancel culture is a scam. Alright, yeah. I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to end it here. Oh, you know, I've been watching What's on My Mind. Let me just tell you quickly what's on my mind. I randomly watched a video, came across a YouTube video of a lady called Amanda, but her YouTube channel is called Millennial Mom, and she was just talking about how she quit a job at a toxic environment, and on the day that she quit, she came back home and lashed out at her kids, and her oldest child was cleaned the house and cooked and did the dishes and even bathed the young one. And instead of her coming and being like, oh, thank you, my baby, for helping, she lashed out, and she realized because she's in this toxic situation at work, she's now also wanting an outlet, and that's her kids. And she's like, I'm not going to do this, and quits her job. She said something very interesting that stuck with me, right? as she was busy talking in the video, she's like, one thing she consciously does or wants her children to see is that she will cry. You know, the sis will cry when there's a problem. If she's going through something, she will cry in front of her kids, and her kids must see and they must know that she is human and she experiences all of her human emotions. And I was so taken aback by that and so intrigued by that, because I thought about myself. Obviously, when people talk, you put yourself in their shoes, or you turn that thing to yourself to say, oh, you reflect. So you reflect on what you are hearing, right? And you play it into your own life. And I was sitting there, I'm like, actually, I don't remember seeing my mother cry ever, you know? I don't remember seeing my mother. The only time I saw my mother cry was at her brother's funeral. And this was like 2 years ago. That was the first and last time. And I'm like, you know, and then I questioned myself. I'm like, if she had cried in front of me regularly or whatever, what would it have done? And I'm like, maybe just humanize her a little bit and not make her a foreign concept, you know? And I don't think it would have been like, oh, you're so weak because you're always crying. No, because I'm always crying, you know? When I need to cry, I cry. Because that's just me. I am in tune with myself and my emotions. And I was like, oh, that was such an interesting fact or an interesting observation for her to talk about, and for me to even walk away from the video thinking about it. It's like, interesting, love it, lovely, love it, loads, Mdasi. Guys, as I said, I don't want to go on and on. This is the end of this video. I love you very much. Tell me if you like this new style of me doing videos like this. I'm going to do more like this, and we're gonna do what I gotta do. I might just record cancel culture.